Welcome to Sweat, Tears and Equity, a podcast by Fortech Investments, where we discuss the untold truths of funding and funding startups. Our guests are founders, investors, and other players from the ecosystem who learn these valuable lessons the hard way. They share the things that they wish they knew earlier about the challenges that lie in this journey, the things that no one prepared them for, so you and other founders can navigate this bumpy road successfully. So, welcome Sorin, welcome Felicia. We have, for the first time, two founders in our podcast, which is really great for us. I'd love to hear about the dynamic between the two of you, but we'll get into that soon enough. First of all, let's talk about Sales Partner, and let's see what the story behind Sales Partner is, with the mindset that our podcast, we have an audience that we would love to encourage entrepreneurs and learn not only from success stories, but also from mistakes that led to success stories. So please tell me about Sales Partner and how everything got into what it is today.
Hi, and thank you for having us here. I will say a few words about Sales Partner. Basically, in about 15 years of software development, Sales Partner is the first product that we build. And it happened after having, after working in building websites for different customers, then building complex software solutions like enterprise software, but very custom and niched for manufacturers and distributors. And then we started implementing some business intelligence solutions. And that's how we got into the automotive industry. So while implementing BI to a quite big customer, we saw that they were working in multiple systems. They were trying to have an accurate reporting. And it was very hard to match all the data coming from Excels, from legacy solutions, and from different CRMs and all kind of other solutions. Then we went to another dealership, also implementing BI. It was funny because we got there as a third supplier, let's say, in order to achieve the three offers, in order for the acquisition process. They were already talking to two suppliers at that time for about 1 year. And we got there, and in about 2 weeks, we had a POC. And the customer said, okay, but what's behind these pictures? And we said, this is not a picture, it's your report. Oh. You can click here and see all your data. Well, behind this were hundreds of pages of documentation for all the systems they were using that we have to discover by ourselves. Okay. However, we took this project also. And then, I'm going to let Sorin tell you more about how we started Sales Partner, in fact.
Just one thing to add for our audience. So basically, your company and your solution is truly embedded in, let's say, a specific niche of the industry where you have a lot of expertise. So basically, you've built a product based on how to solve, let's say, a flow problem and make things much more easier, right? Yeah. Is that like the correct assumption of how you brought up to life the startup?
So we are in automotive. Automotive is a highly regulated industry. There are from safety to a lot of processes, including software, compliance with IRS and so on. So we enter here. Okay, it was maybe by mistake, as Felicia said. We were the fifth wheel on the car, but eventually we learn quick that actually they want to get some results, but in order to get these results, you need some solution that are able to connect everything. So now we sales partner, we say it's an all-in-one API-based solution for automotive. So basically, from manufacturer to importer to dealership and then to end user, we connect all the data, and this actually allows the people working with the systems to do the things maybe 90% faster because everything is already connected.
Because I wanted to ask you about the ROI that you had in mind probably when you saw the disconnect between the systems. And it's really important also for everyone to understand how essential it is to build a product and also test it to see if you're on the right track. And I want to ask you, before launching, let's say the POC or the MVP, did you manage that part of, I don't know, calibrating the product, taking the right feedback and saying, okay, we got it. This is the solution. We will deploy it and we will make a difference, and had the courage behind, that type of an assumption?
Yeah, for us, it was, let's say like this. We were doing consultancy services, right? So we didn't have a product in mind at that time. But when we found out actually the need, we started to take our experience from previous industry and build on the architecture that we already had, started to build a product. And we always say that when we meet the customers, we sometimes put stupid questions. And sometimes you feel like being the idiot in the room because you ask a lot of questions and people say, okay, we don't really understand why you ask this. But if you put the right questions in the right order, then actually you figure out what is the problem they're trying to solve. So then you can build something. So we started step by step from something that we knew it was very painful for them. For example, to know exactly which leads are converted in what sales and what is the quality of the leads we have and how do we service them. So they were actually willing to know if marketing efforts and whatever they were doing was converting in sales. Okay. We started from this, and then we developed the product step by step, always getting feedback. And we, in the beginning, when we had the first product, we actually stay with the users who maybe if someone outside the industry doesn't know, but when you put another software solution, you in the beginning you had a lot of haters, and these haters,
it's a quite known fact actually. How did you manage this? I mean, it's really interesting to see how did you. I don't mean to interrupt you. Please keep the idea because I think it's truly valuable. I mean, how do you change mindset first of all? But because there's a lot of value in terms of efficiency, right? That you're bringing on the table, but then you bring a little bit of anxiety, especially in the user part, because they have to get acquainted to a new system. Did you manage that from a sales perspective in the early traction of the product, and how did you look at it? How to solve it, especially when you wanted to sell your solution?
We spend a lot of time with our customers and with the sales, their sales team. And we listened to all of them, because behind anything that somebody says nice or not so nice, there is something, and you have to understand what is it in fact. And we were always improving the solution. We were always explaining them things because the difference between the systems they used to work with and sales partner is so big that we have an example of funny situation when we were there with a salesperson and we said, okay, then now push this button in order to have your all invoices. And he pushed the button and we were talking. And after 5 minutes, he said, okay, and when will I have the invoices? And he said, it's done when you push the button 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, instantly. It was the entire flow.
So and he said, oh my God, previously I had to wait 15 minutes to do this.
So valuable to showcase this type of example.
But also quite difficult to understand what's behind a nice and simple interface, you know? All those processes happening behind.
Of course, but that's your knowledge base. So you understood how to solve a problem from an efficiency point of view because you also understood the mindset and the behavior of the user. Would that be correct?
The behavior and the processes, because it's very nice to have ideas and to say, okay, we design something on the chart. We have a table and we say, okay, we'll do this and do that. But you have to also take in mind the landscape and the people that are going to work. What processes they have, what solution they are using, will be they able to work like this, and so on. So you actually need to design a framework of working. It's not just a solution, software solution. It's an entire process that will actually change the mind, like Felicia said. So when they push the button, we actually did 20 processes behind, but they were used to do everything manual. So when we pushed the button and everything was done, this is why they said normally it takes like 15 minutes for us. So we said, okay, if you want, we can let you push the button and wait for 15 minutes to get the result if it's easier for you, you know?
Yeah, so you had the magic wow factor, basically.
Yeah.
You show that you can actually do something quite fast and that will allow them to get a lot of free time that could be used in another manner, in another way, much more useful.
85% of time.
Okay.
Saved.
How did all this, added value, what are you positioned as sales partner today in the industry? How do you see yourselves right now at this moment in terms of how you have been welcomed in the industry or not? But that's your story to say. If there was a pushback, let's say, from the industry, if, like any novel solution that are truly innovative, sometimes you're pushing back something. And there's that, I don't know if you can call it a clashback, but it might be. Did you encounter that type of resistance when you first entered the market, and did you have to manage it in some shape or form? And how did you actually manage that?
We encounter this all the time. I mean, it's something that it's a play that we have. It's what was first, the egg or the chicken. So it's the same thing, because we want to discuss, for example, with the dealers, and we said, hey, we know you have this kind of problems. We have a solution that we want to show you how we can solve you these problems, and we will be very interesting to get your feedback to know exactly how we can help you. And they say, yeah, okay, it's great, but we want also a feedback from the OEM, from the manufacturer, from the company that is manufacturing the cars. And we go there and they say, great product, but do you have dealers that are already using? So we had to find actually what was important, a certain point for one customer. And we try to solve the problem for that customer exactly in order to be able to replicate the process. So we kind of throw some arrows, but we try to focus on a certain customer who was willing to try the product, and from there on to do more.
Okay, this brings me also to the scalability thing that any startup, I actually believe they thrive, going international. Is that something that you're planning or that you're looking for? Because there's obviously a state of the industry right now in Romania. Would you say that there's a lot of things to do here? We were talking even earlier. I think there's a lot of space in the market for you to still deliver the solution, but there's also the international aspect of your potential business. Have you, I don't know, explored that side of going international and maybe working through, I don't know, local partners that have a global footprint? Did you explore that in terms of future plans for sales partner?
Yes, we have at least 1 year of doing this. Now in Romania, we have a significant portion of the market, so it's time to go international, of course.
So basically, in 1 year, you grew since the deployment. What was the timeline?
No. In the last year, we focused on finding opportunities to go worldwide.
Cool.
So this means validating the selling process, like the receipt, and finding the way to do this, like through distributors or something else, and so on. The product is already validated, and before most of our actual clients in Romania said that the product is ready to go anywhere in the world, and it would make a real difference. Now we have some partnerships. We have already started this process. We also have the help of some representatives in Romania from our partners.
Customers.
Yes, and customers. So we said at the beginning that we are about to launch the second module of sales partner. So now we have the sales module, and in autumn we'll launch the after sales module in order to have the complete dealership management solution.
Okay.
This would be also the moment we can go more to accelerate going international.
I'd like to emphasize the second module a little bit, if you would like to, because we were talking earlier about the potential of that module and what a big change it would make, and I think that's also an opportunity to expose here what your plans are regarding what you're going to do in that aspect.
So when you build a product from scratch, you want first to see that it's something that it's rolling, and then you make it better and better.
Obvious.
So we obviously focus on the first part of the industry, on the sales part, when you buy a car. And we try to have this the best as possible. So this is why we got a lot of customers' feedback and enroll this customer feedback into the product. But after you buy the car, then at certain point you should take the car to the service. We also, the solution is called sales partner, so it's not called sales partner and service partner. And it is called so because actually also the service part, it's a sales process. It's a different type of sales, but actually you involve the same, almost the same steps, and you need to do a pre-order, you need to do an invoice, a contract, and so on. So basically you have almost the same things that we applied on what is important, the customer and the car. So these two connected, you buy the car and then you go to the car with the car to the service. So actually, this is a process that we want to complete. So our current customers will receive the same quality. We hope it's going to be better in terms of feedback. Okay. Because let's say in terms of sales, maybe they had they have been using some digital solution, even if they were not connected. So they had some experience, but on the service side, the solutions are quite old and still lack a lot of features that you normally need today. And this is why we are quite keen to see this by the end of the year, how this will look like in Romania, and try to replicate the same thing abroad. And just one simple thing to imagine, how this is working. We put everything to be able to work on tablets. So I have a customer, let's say, tryout. We called them to ask for a service programming. And then we also complete an online form. And then I get the service with the car. And I said, hey, I have an online programming. And the guy at the reception was calling someone and say, hey, John, can you please print me the online booking? Because I have the customer here. So this is how...
Yeah. How you see the need to digitalize something.
Exactly. And after I finished everything and the process was done, they called me, I think, 1 week after. Then they told me that the car is ready to be picked up. But I was already 1 week in a holiday with the car, So this is why we say that it's important to bring technology, but to be used easily by the business users, because if you're trying to build the best product with the greatest feature, the highest price value report, and have all the users happy, probably you'll have like a car in the garage or a perfect product in a closed shelf.
And there are so many.
There are so many.
that live on shelves.
So we try to have something that it's actually real, that it's important for our customers, in this case the dealership, to be used and to be adapted all the time. And in order to do this, probably, if you want, we can talk more. We have 3T philosophy, which means teams, technology, and time.
Okay.
So it's very important when you do something, the people you are working with, to know exactly what is the scope, how you want to do this, and in how much time. Yes.
Okay.
Because if you manage to put all these three together, then you really manage to deliver a product and have customers for it. This was what was working for us.
Okay, it looks like a work frame, and it makes a lot of sense in terms of philosophy. But after the experience, would you say that you found like 3 new ingredients, or 1 or 2, that are really critical in building a product with sense that makes it different? And maybe could you tell them to the audience, and what everyone that wants to build a product should look at, and or I don't know, maybe you have discovered and it's somewhat applicable to, I don't know, a generic industries?
Yeah.
Is there like a learning from your journey? And maybe let's point out 1 or 2. Could you do that? And it shouldn't also be specific to the product. Maybe sometimes it's also about people. I don't know. Do you think it's also about people that you're working with? And I also wanted to touch, but we'll do that probably after this question. But if you'd say, I look at building a product like a puzzle, like a complex puzzle. What is that, I don't know, one essential thing that's really important to have success? to be successful and not to be another product full of features, but that lives on the shelf? I would like each one's perspective if that's possible.
So I will start and let Felicia to complete.
I'm afraid it's the same in this.
Okay, so it's really valuable. Okay.
The thing is that you always will have a customer. If you are a business, then you'll always have customers. So you'll be selling a product or service, right? So it's important to know which is the relationship between the customer and the product, and which, if there are, let's say, more relationship or the relationship is more complex, which out of all of this it's causing you to lose time or to lose money or to have more people to do this, and it basically makes you ineffective and unable to implement the company plan. So we were always focusing on this. So we started from
so researching basically, which is so healthy when you build products.
So we asked them, okay, what is more important for you? To have like clean offers, to have control on what are you doing inside the company, to have the highest sales in number, but margin will follow. You want to spend less time in doing this and so on. So we try a little to prioritize what was the biggest pain for them and try to solve it the fastest way, but to be able to be accepted by the people working. And this, Felicia could tell you better about the team and the fact that we actually invest a lot in this process.
All these things are usually done by a team, so it's and I would say that in our team we have people that are together with us for a long time, even 15 years. We have been growing together and learning a lot. And another ingredient is that they have different skills that can address such a great complexity that our product needs, because we don't have just a small app that we put it in cloud and sell it through marketing and so on. It's like an elephant. It's a huge solution. And actually our competitors are huge multinational companies.
That's the ground for the startups, right? Those are the those are the nemesis that you're fighting against. Or not.
But we are very focused on what we are doing.
Okay.
So this is
focused to do things.
I wanted to get a little bit into your, I don't know, let's say professional or profile, let's say background, your personas, because earlier before we started filming, I think we all said that not everyone can be an entrepreneur, right? So it's not that easy. But what is the background that you guys have? Where do you come from in terms of professional knowledge, experience, and also leadership? Because at the end of the day, you're co-founders and you are leaders, right?
I come from a small town, Cugir. It's in central Romania, and actually it's a quite coincidence, but Mercedes-Benz has a factory exactly in the city. And I think my first entrepreneurial experience, was in the 9th grade when we tried to build a high school newspaper, and it was called Metamorphosis.
Okay.
Which is actually, the name was because when you enter the high school, you go through a process of transformation. And this process of transformation allows you to gather information, but also shape you into a person. And for me, it was very nice because everyone wanted to write something. No one wanted to get money for the things to happen, you know. So they put me in charge of sales and marketing. So I had to do this.
Okay.
And also to organize then the processes and to have the school lab to allow us to actually build the magazine and so on. And then we had to sell it to teachers, to parents, and to fellow colleagues. So this was my first entrepreneurial experience.
Okay.
And also I had an NGO experience, which actually helped me a lot because you learn to do a lot of things as a voluntary. So when you do this, it's much easier than when you have to do the real stuff, to do it easier because you are already used to do stuff.
True. And I think it builds resilience, right?
Exactly.
And I think resilience is quite important. We were talking about comfort zone.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Felicia, maybe you could say something about also your background and how you manage that comfort zone, pace, let's say.
Yeah. I always wanted to be independent, so I started to earn money since before university, I think, by selling some products in my father's company at that time. And then when I was in the university, I had my first job and then my second job. I'm basically sales oriented.
Okay.
And I was lucky to have my second job in sales. I didn't know anything about sales at that moment. They recruited me while I was selling something, you know. So that company was founded by 8 partners that who previously worked for Connex. It's the actual Vodafone. And at that moment, we had less multinationals. It was a great experience, and all that framework that they have got in that company, they put it in their own company, and I had the opportunity to learn a lot, even if it wasn't a long period of time there. At about, 25, 26, I decided to be, as we said before, self-employed, like a better way to say unemployed. So I have tried to make a company with a friend of mine. Well, we failed fast. So
that's good when you fail fast.
Yes, exactly. And then I've made my own company, and this is how I started entrepreneurship. So I had an appetite for risk, let's say, or for going out of the comfort zone. And regarding the resilience that you were talking before, we have a funny moment with one of our clients. We were in a meeting there, and we were there for about 4 hours or something like this. And while we were leaving, we have met the sales director and talked a little bit, and he said, "Hey guys, I'm gonna leave here in less than 1 month. It was nice working with you, and by the way, I have never seen in my life people so resilient as you. We thought that you're going to break your neck 100 times, but you are still here providing value for this company. So keep up the good work."
So now it's quite obvious that you have those ingredients. You have the sales backup and knowledge, and that you learned from an early age, and also the entrepreneurship mindset. And you also had the leadership that you explored some time ago. I think there were so many valuable things said because, again, it's really hard to build a product, especially to make it stick and then to grow. It's not easy, and it's not that common. So congratulations, guys. I think that you truly are a duo, and it's important also to understand what the dynamic is in terms of business between the two of you, because obviously you are a couple, husband and wife, right? And there must be a dynamic. I understand the roles quite clearly, but how do you do, I don't know, decision making maybe? How do you lean on each other when it comes to decisions, or maybe when it comes to each other's strength? Because I think a woman and a man bring so much value, especially in business. And I want to understand, how do you rely on each other's, mindset or thought process when it comes to decision making? Or is there do you have some rules?
We have some rules, and we also try to learn every time from mistakes. And we have saying that we don't have fights. We have actually constructive debates on aspects. Because actually, when you have a constructive debate, you actually focus on solving the problem, not between people. And this was what also happened, not only between us, but also inside the company with other colleagues. By the way, we also have another founder with us, Mihai.
Okay.
He's our CTO. So even if I come from a technical background, I don't write code, but he was with us from the beginning. And we try to, let's say, always to see what are the two sides of the story, and actually to have like a common decision, because it's not always important, to feel that you are right. Is not understand which is the context, and if you are right, the patient is dead or not. I mean, something like this. It's important actually to find a solution. Okay. It's very important to have values and principles, so you need to respect them. But you also need to understand the context we are in, inside the company and outside in the relationship with the customer.
I see. Okay, so you're very Germanic in that sense. You're structured, and you're keeping alignment and focus in terms of decision making and understanding contextual awareness.
Yeah, and we try to split the task between us, sales and marketing and admin, and and I'm more on the technical side, reporting and product. Like this, and we also had, let's say, internal discussion with the company, also with the customers, to see how we can prioritize, because it's all related to time, in what time you can do this and that, internal and external. And for startup, it's difficult in the end, to have the funds to go further. I mean, from idea to creating a product, and then from product to growth, and from growth to expansion, and so on.
Okay, and speaking of funds, you are backed up by Fortec Investments, right?
Yeah.
What are your future plans regarding, raise, or I don't know? It's up to you to share with us if there are things in the near future.
Yeah, we are actually working to raise the next round.
Okay.
Hopefully till the end of this year.
Okay.
This would help us mostly to extend international, because it aligns with launching the second module, as we said. So we have the entire the complete product, and it's more appealing and simpler to go abroad.
Okay.
We validated this already.
And you're looking at a timeline for the rollout phase of this product also this year?
Yeah, we already have pre-signed customers. We are very interested in going forward, and we hope that by here acknowledge that actually it's a working framework will be easier for the international expansion. And we'll also are looking all the time to the new technologies we have in the pipeline, and we want to part of this financial investment will be to integrate AI, and will not be an integration like it's a small joke that actually Americans spend like 20 millions to build a pen that it's writing in the space, and Russian gave everything crayons. I mean, pens, you know. So it's actually what we want to do with the AI is to help the users, like to have a personal assistant in the task they are doing, because we did the automation, but sometimes you need something to assist you to do things faster.
Thank you so much, guys. I wish you a lot of luck in everything that you're trying to do. I don't think actually you need that much luck, because it seems that you know what you're doing actually, and you have plans in that sense. I hope the best for you, and it was really engaging, and I learned a lot from you and from your journey until this moment. So thank you so much for being present here in our podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We also learned a lot from this hour, and we hope also will help others maybe to clarify some of the things that we already passed through. And just to close, for example, we have a library in the office that actually our colleagues or anyone can take books. And this is the type of gifts we give for Christmas to our customers. We give them books, and we write manual on every book.
We sign them.
We sign it, okay.
We sign, but sometimes we also write
a message, a personalized message probably, yeah.
Because we think that businesses are, regardless the technology, it's about people. So people you'll be working with, and you are working now. I think it's very important to create connections. So whatever product or selling you have, it has to have like a human touch.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful tactic, because you're also using education and culture as, let's say, a currency for loyalty and for customers, which is quite amazing. Cool. Thank you so much again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.